when you have something like x squared is greater than 4. Now, this is the same thing as when you simplify this, this will give us x. To make s the subject formula, we'll square both sides. We give s equals to 4. This is what it means, all right? So you square both sides. So our x is plus or minus 2. Okay, now to represent this on using this inequality convention, this is the same thing as x is greater than 2 or x is less than negative 2. This is how you can represent using inequality convention. Whereas when you have something like the other way around, you have something like s squared is less than 4, okay, which is something as x squared plus 4. Else to make x the square from the square both side, so square root of 4 is equal to negative 2. So in this situation, we're going to have the inequality convention to be minus 2 is less than x is less than 2. Okay, so this is the right way to represent it. It's as simple as that. Now basically, when you have a greater than sign, all right, you separate it with or. S is greater than 2 or x is less than negative 2. But when you have a less than sign, you don't separate it. This is how you represent it. You start with the negative number, then proceed to the positive number. That means for this one, minus 2 is less than x less than 2, from negative number to positive number. Okay, so this is basically how you can do it. Let's look at further example. Let's say we are given something like, if you have this kind of problem, x squared is less than or equal to 25. This is something as s squared equals 25. So you square both sides. So we have x to be plus or minus 5. Okay, since this is less than or equal to sign, so we're going to be a negative number. So we're going to be minus 5 is less than or equals to x is less than or equals to what? 5. Okay, so this is how you represent it. It's as simple as that. Now, what if you are given something like this time around, we have x squared greater than 9. It's something as x equals to 9, x squared equals to 9. So when you square both sides, this square can't be square roots. So x will be plus or minus 3. So since this time around is greater than, it's going to give us x is greater than 3 or x is less than negative 3. Okay, so this is how you represent it. So guys, it's as simple as that. Now let's wipe this and look at further example. What if you have something like you are given 3x squared is greater than or equals to 48. Okay, now to solve this, this is something as 3, let me write this way. This is something as 3x squared equals 48. So use the equal to sign to simplify the expression to get your values of x before you then represent them using inequality convention. Okay, so let's go divide both sides by 3. We want to make x the square formula. So into this, so 48 divide 3 going to give us 16. So we're going to have x squared equals 16. So you square both sides. So square root of 16 will be plus or minus 4. Alright, so to represent it using inequality convention, since it's greater than, so you're going to have x greater than or equals to 4 or x is less than or equals to negative 4. Okay, so that would be the answer to this question. Remember, when you have greater than, you use or to separate it, but when you have less than, you start from negative value and proceed to the positive value. You don't need to separate it with an or, right? Just like here. Okay, now let's look at another example. Let's say we have to solve this inequality. Minus 2x squared plus 8 greater than 0. Okay, now this is something as minus 2x squared plus 8 equals 0. Now to make s the subject formula, first this 8 caused by equality subject negative, we're going to have minus 2x squared equals to minus 8. Once you are done this, divide both sides by minus 2. So that means we have our x squared will now be minus 8 divided by minus 2 give us 4. That means this sign will change to less than, since we divided with a negative number. Okay, so we're going to x is less than 4. Finally, we are going to, this is x squared less than 4. Okay, so get the value of x to find the square both sides. So this gives us x squared, or let's do it here, the square both sides. So we have our x, values of x now to be plus or minus 2. Remember, we have a less than sign at the middle. So to represent it with inequality, since it's less than, it's going to give us minus 2 less than x, okay, less than 2. And that will be the answer to this question. It's as simple as that, guys. Hope you're not confused about this example. Okay, this is basically how you can do problems involving quadratic inequalities. Now, before we call this a class, let me give you guys a practice question on this to test your knowledge on it, and after you can call it a class. Okay, guys, now let's look at this problem. This problem, let's say we are given minus x squared plus 2x plus 3 greater than 0. I have to solve this inequality, this quadratic problem involving inequality. So feel free to pause this video and see if you can figure out how to do this. Okay, let's do it together. Now, this thing is the same thing as minus x squared plus 2x plus 3 equals 0. Alright, we don't need to have a negative sign for this minus x squared. Right, so simply remove the negative sign here. Everything here will cross over a positive sign, and their signs will change. So when they cross, when minus x squared crosses over, we're going to have x squared. When plus 2x crosses over, we're going to have minus 2x. When plus 3 crosses over, we're going to have minus 3 equals 0. Now, let's get factors. What are two numbers that you multiply, you get negative 3, and when you add them, you get negative 2. Okay, so let's experiment with negative 3 and plus 1. Negative 3 times plus 1 give a negative 3. Then negative 3 plus 1 give a negative 2. So this will work. So we're going to have x plus 1, x minus 3 equals 0. So x is going to have two values. We're going to have x plus 1 equals 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. Therefore, x value will be, when make x solve formula here, x will be negative 1 or x will be 3. So x equals negative 1 and x equals 3 or x equals 3. So to represent this on using the inequality convention, it's going to be something like, we're going to have it to be negative 1 is less than x is less than 3. So this is how you can represent this using the inequality convention. Alright, so guys, it's as simple as that. So let's wipe this now and look at another party math question. Okay, now what if we have something like this? If you are given b squared is less than 49. Alright, feel free to pause this video and see if you can solve this. Okay, let's do it together. This is something as b squared equals 49. So you square both sides. So our p will be plus or minus 7. Square root of 49 is 7. So to present it using inequality convention, we will have less than sign. So we're going to proceed from a negative value to a positive value. So it's going to give us minus 7 is less than x is less than 7. Okay, so we proceed from negative value to a positive value. Okay, so it's as simple as that. Now, what if you're given something like minus 1 over 2 this fraction p squared, okay, is less than equals to negative 32. I also solve this problem. Now, feel free to pause this video and see if you can attempt this question. Okay, let's solve it together. Now, we want to make p the shortest formula. Okay, let's remove the equality. Let's replace the equality sign here with equal to. So this is something as minus 1 over 2 p squared equals to minus 32. So firstly, divide both sides by minus 1 over 2. Minus 1 over 2. Okay, so this will cancel this. Now, minus 32 divided by minus 1 over 2. This same thing as minus 32 divided by 1 over 2. Okay, so when you change this division sign to multiplication, you're going to invert what you have here. When you do, you're going to have minus 32. Remember, this thing is minus 1 over 2. So when you do, you're going to have minus 32 times minus 2 over 1. Okay, minus 32 times minus 2 will now give us, so we're going to have our p square equals 64. So you square both sides. Okay, so square root of 64, so p will be equals to plus minus 8. But remember, we divided by a negative value. That means the convention sign here we change to greater than or equal to. Since we divided by minus 1 over 2. Very important, guys. Okay, now since it's greater than or equal to represent the answer plus or minus 8 using inequality convention, we're going to separate using or. Since it's greater than or equal to, not less than or equal to, so we're going to give us p is greater than or equal to 8 or p is less than or equals to 8, and that will be the answer to this problem. It's as simple as that. Okay, so here let's represent this one with p, since we are not dealing with p, not x. Okay, so representing this one with p, since we are dealing with p, not x. So that's the answer to this question. So we're going to have minus 8 here, sorry. P is greater than or equals to 8, or p is less than or equals to negative 8. This is basically how you can solve problems or deal with problems involving inequalities. You look at the quadratic aspect of it. So let's go to class here. Hope there's something interesting from this video. Now, if you are new to the channel, ensure you check the description of this video below. You see a link to our Telegram channel. Click on it and join our Telegram channel for instant notifications. Also, ensure you are subscribed to this video by hitting the subscribe button for more videos like this. Also, like, share, and comment on this video. So tell me how you feel from what you have learned from this class. If you seem to have any specific questions to ask, feel free to leave your question at the comment section below, and I will sure to give you a response. Now, click on the end screen above, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.